What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Boys, it is a crispy 56 degrees today. We're headed out to the shop in Pop's car. But I wanted you guys to look at the difference in IATs. Right now we're at 120-ish. And the car is a totally different animal. Just like, there we go. Woo! Shoot. Totally different animal when it's cold outside. Gotta love boost weather. Anyway, we're headed out to the shop. Let's go. All right, maybe we got enough juice.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's been a minute since we heard this thing. Cause we did a video a while back, and this thing does crank, but we haven't started in a while. Yeah. Yeah. You got your foot on the gas? Oh, it's doing it. Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. Wonder why it's better this time. It's just yeah. Intercooler's pumping. Damn, okay.
That's wild, huh?
Yeah. Was it just didn't want to idle last time. Yeah, we couldn't keep it running this time, and sitting there sounding like
We got brakes.
yeah, we got brakes. All the fuel lines are fastened to the body. You got intercooler pump is pumping.
Just got to get these hooked up and fill the
Yeah, heater core lines right there. Damn, actually got some heat in the motor. That's freaking crazy. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good sign. Like I said, guys, the last time we tried to start it, it came with a tuner that said it had a startup tune in it. It wouldn't idle. This time, it's fine. So your guess is as good as ours. All right, guys. So just when we think, this thing's making pretty good progress, it's running now. Good chance, gonna rip it all out. Not the engine and all that, of course. But
I don't like it.
yeah. What do you think? I holler at him, just say,
Yeah, he didn't fit the greatest.
yeah. So let me kind of run you through what we got here. All right. So when we put this together, this did not fit well, and I'll show you what I mean. Look right here.
We tried to make it work.
We tried to make it work. Had to beat the headers there.
I think they're still touching some.
Yeah, they're still touching right there. Sorry for the bad angles. Still touching there. You look right there. Had to beat them right here. And I think it's actually still touching there. And then come around to this side. And right there, it's touching. I think there was one more spot over here. I think this, no. It may have just been that one on this side. So this car has, these are ARH headers and AJE K member. And this is what the owner sent. And, this was quite a bit while ago. And we didn't really know what we know now. So if you guys have been watching the channel, we pretty much figured out through a bunch of trial and error the best fitting combo that is also the most affordable is the Speed Engineering headers and the UPR K member. Now there are other combos that do work. Like this combo on Alex's car fits right. And the reason it fits right is because it was made for it. These are Cook's Inch and 7/8 and Maximum Motorsports headers. If you guys remember, my car went to Cook's Headers in North Carolina back in 2019, and they designed these new headers on my car for the Maximum Motorsport K member. And they do fit great. Cook's makes a hell of a product. The only issue with this combo is you're going to spend a lot more money, to the tune of over $2,000 more than you would with a Speed Engineering and a UPR. Now, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people in the comments that say, oh, Maximum Motorsport's the best, Cook's is the best. And they are nice products. They definitely are. But you know what? So are the UPR K-member and so are the Speed Engineering headers. We've never had a single issue out of any one of them. And that's actually what's on my car. So I'm not just spitting it. I'm living it. It's on my car. I'm going to try to show you guys another issue. I'm not sure if it's gonna... Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to see that. The steering shaft issue is also kind of in question here too. Possibly swapping steering shafts would fix that. Yeah, I can't get you a good angle, but if you see the scratches right there in the above that primary, that's from scratching on the header, and that's no bueno. You're gonna feel that in your steering wheel, and that's gonna suck. So that's another issue. So, like Dover was saying, Swap Life, you're gonna have to modify some stuff. Just because it's supposed to be for a swap does not mean that you're not gonna have to do some tweaking and modifying. That's what happens when you put an engine that wasn't made to go in the car with some giant freaking headers and tubular suspension and all of that. But it's a lot easier to modify and beat and bang if you need to, which we haven't needed to yet. A set of $400 headers versus a set of $1,800 headers, that will hurt your feelings. So in this situation, I think we're just going to swap the K member and put a UPR in it. And pretty sure that's going to solve all of our fitment problems, hopefully. Dover's old car, which is right over there, when he built it, it had ARH headers and a tubular UPR K member. And your fit was good, wasn't it?
Good, yeah.
Yeah, didn't have any issues with that. So just swapping the K member should be fine. If you don't know, which I'm sure most of you do, anything touching anywhere is no bueno. Not just because, you know, you're going to burn stuff and make noise and all that, but on these Coyotes, you're going to cause false knock, which could send it into limp mode, which could pull timing, all kinds of stuff. And things change when you're out beating on a car, driving around. So just because it seems like it's fitting okay just sitting there doesn't mean it always will. The last issue with this K member, which, you know, it's not... that's kind of the design, is this K member moved the engine up. Was it an inch or over an inch?
A little less than an inch.
Little less than an inch. You see, you got quite a bit of room back here. And what that does is all this real estate up here, it takes some away. And again, in a swap application, your real estate is prime. You need as much room as you can, especially up front, because you got a whole lot of stuff going on. So that's another reason I think UPR is probably just going to be the way to go in this one. Now, one debate I've seen a lot is people talking about K-member spacers, why they're important. And I'm going to show you right now why just that little bit is so important when you're doing a Coyote swap. Now, number one, and maybe not the most important, if you look right here, you got just a little clearance here for your heater core lines. Now, if this engine was up here, you'd be right on them. Now, like on mine with the Whipple and all that, they wouldn't have gone on if I didn't have the engine spaced down. So that one's number one. All right, so your number two issue, if you look way down in there, you're gonna have some serious clearance issues. You see, you're obviously gonna, unless you're running manual brakes, you're gonna have a hydro boost. And you see your number 8 coil is right there. Now, your coils are this long, okay? Kind of see where I'm going with this? And again, this one's already spaced down. Now, this part is kind of flimsy, you know, rubbery. You can bend it out. This part's hard, so you've got to at least come out of the hole that much to get that coil out, and then you got to get a wrench down in there, socket and the extension, and get the plug out. So if this engine was not spaced down, good luck getting your coil out. All right, so we're going to dive back in over on this side again for why you want to run K-member spacers. So if you're running a manual, so your clutch cable's right here, your cam cover's right here. If this engine was not spaced down, it would be all on your clutch cable. I wish I could. Yeah, it basically, the engine would be right here. So not only is it next to impossible to get your clutch cable in, but then it's kind of jammed up on your cam cover there. Now, kind of an unrelated issue on this combo with this supercharger, he had a bare master cylinder. Well, as you can see, it didn't fit, so we had to go back to this standard master cylinder, and we are still, like, it is on it. It's actually pushing the master over a little bit, so that's kind of a pain in the ass. The tube actually has an indentation right here for what this is supposed to be on, which I guess is an 11 to 14 Mustang, but we're not even close. So, and then the other issue, we had to flip this twin 69 over because this area right here was in the hydro boost. We couldn't get it bolted on. So, yeah, swap life, man. Now, a lot of people aren't running this blower anymore, but still, if you're thinking about running it, be prepared. It's like, look, you can see if I push that over, it's pushing the master over. That may cause a leak down the road. I don't know, but that kind of sucks. So next project on this car is get the interior quarter trim in, which is going to require, we got to pull the cage back out, which mostly we just kind of had it in here for test fitting purposes. But in order to get the trim in, right there.
Carpet.
Yeah, carpet, yeah. And then we got to cut around it. And then we're going to have to trim around those tubs, aren't we?
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to trim around the tubs.
They ain't stopped.
Good God. Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Seen how much room we had over here?
Yeah. What'd you measure, like 16?
I think it was like 15.
Yeah.
The lip ain't even rolled.
Lip. Yeah, it's got all kinds of room up in there. So I'm not sure what wheels he's going to go with, but it's got the narrowed rear end, mini tubs, coilovers. It's a pretty nice setup. Of course, we got the tank recessed on the floor of the trunk. All right, switching gears a little bit. Kevin says he wants to feel a slow car.
Do I need to get my helmet? It's in the car.
Yeah, fire suit, helmet.
No, just my helmet.
Get your Hans device.
No, I just need a helmet.
Yeah, you can get out.
Yeah, I'm ready to see this.
Yeah, we'll make 4 pounds of boost. Why not?
Hey, better none. Good.
Do it. A little hit.
All right, let's roll in it.
Whoa!
Yeah. I mean, it put a like. Hang on,
it
you
was.
know what I mean?
But what happened when it shifted? Party was over, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, I could have.
Yeah,
you know,
could have.
I ain't gonna do all that. That's what automatic's for, but.
Uh-oh. Stayed. Ah, shit. Well, I saw almost 4. Yeah.
I did say 4.
It's not horrible. It's, you know. All right, we're going to see if we can get 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Maybe. Here we go. Oh, that was 5.6.
That was 5, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought it was. You just need to be able to spin it up higher. It's shifting before. I didn't look at the RPM, but I believe if you turn the rev limiter up to, or let this thing shift at 50, I mean like 63 or something like that.
That's the problem is it won't hold the gear any longer.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but like you said, about the time it's having fun,
it's over.
It shifts. And so
you looked a little scared there. I know fast cars make you a little nervous.
Yeah, I know. I got a Coyote at the house. It's slow. And like, I get in stuff like this, I get scared. You know what I mean? I love it. I mean, I like it.
When it hits second gear, it actually pulls pretty good for a second, and then that ain't for long.
Well, then I don't know. Like you're gonna like it with the 5-speed.
Oh yeah.
Like
we'll be able to do something then.
Well, not count like the extra RPMs.
Yeah.
But you know the more horsepower you're going to gain by the less reduction this thing's pulling.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean. Like this thing's taking what probably 20 more horsepower than what a 5-speed
at the minimum, if not 30.
Yeah, so like you catch between them and being able to spin it up a little higher. Yeah, I would probably run it to 6,300.
Stock bottom in, I might stay closer to 55. I don't know. We'll see.
I spun my other one to 62.
Let's see.
Spin it.
All right, hit it one more time.
Oh.
There we go.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I would be okay with it.
So admittedly, once we get the 5-speed, this will be a fun car.
It was already fun.
Yeah. Well.
You just got too fast for the other car. That's just all it is. I mean, it's peppy enough. Like,
well, and like I said, in first and second, it's okay, but once that's over,
the AOD is killing it. But I mean, it's not.
Yeah, and it's not holding the gear long enough to make enough boost.
It's something that if you didn't, how am I trying to say it? It's definitely an improvement.
Oh yeah.
If you want to just add a little bit of power to you.
Yeah.
Like I think that's enough. I mean, it'll spin tires. And like,
and it makes good noises.
Yeah, and it and it pulls. You know what I mean? Like you feel it, and it's not like oh, it's a waste of time. It's not a waste of time.
Yeah, you can tell.
And
we're getting there. I'm think once the 5-speed's in, I'm gonna pull it down. Probably. We'll see. I might just buy two down. See what that is. I think it's a.
They can tell you when get a grip tech.
Yeah.
Don't mess with them other. Get a grip tech.
I think it's a 3.3 on it now, which is the original pulley to the blower. They might do like 3.12 or something.
I don't know, but they'll tell you how much percentage it will go. And
I mean, because they ain't spinning at all. Damn, it did rub that time pretty good. It don't like two people in, but I ain't raising it up anymore. It'll just have to do. All right, guys, that's pretty much gonna wrap this one up. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. Just remember, swap life is exactly that. Just because it's supposed to fit, it ain't always going to fit. You're going to have to tweak. You're going to have to beat. You're going to bang. You're going to cut. Just is what it is, but the results are always worth it. So I hope you guys did get something out of it. If you did, please drop me a big thumbs up. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. We'll catch you on the next one.